It needs to be. Sorry.
What other colors are there right now?
All right, there we go. Okay, in our junior showmanship, the young lady on the end there will be first. Young lady here will be second. Young man will be third. I kept them all in the purple category because they all did a really good job for their age. Young lady on the end just had a little better grasp. Her breed overall, her rabbit was a little more cooperative, which does help her go through the rabbit better, hit more of the points and more of the specks on the side of our specks along the whole rabbit. Young man did a really good job working with this rabbit that got a little frustrated and wanted to be crabby with them. Did miss one question, and then the young gal here did miss a question on the ear length. While her ear length, I would definitely have to measure those. On this size of a rabbit, those ears are looking awfully long. Like they're gonna borderline. I don't think that this rabbit will really make it to senior show status. But good job, kids.
So the results for that one, first place purple went to Brianna Swenson. Second place was a tie between the two kiddos. So Caden Swenson was light purple, and so was Madeline Lortz light purple. Now we're going on with our senior buck class, 4 class, 1 exhibitor in that class. If you did need a show program, the show programs are back on that window ledge over there, behind the bleachers there, so you're welcome to pick those up. We need to thank Miss Claire Schollerman for being our Dickinson County Fair Queen, and we're excited to have you handing out ribbons this week. So thank you for coming and being a part of our show.
However, they do lay nicely and they hold them. They're not curling in. They're not pulling back either. I had just the other day at a place, and a lot of them were doing this on me. So, all right, easy purple. All right, in our senior buck class, we have a broken blue Holland Lop, and this is just a really nice rabbit in a lot of ways. Nice big bulldog head on him, wide skull. Ears, as the gal had commented during showmanship, are probably a half-inch longer than I like. You want them just below those cheeks, and he's getting a little more than that. However, he poses nice. He's got the nice tight shoulder, a real good short back with a nice drop there. Fur coat's not what it needs to be today, but that's not the end of the world considering the quality of the rabbit. They get most of their points for type in this deal. So that's an easy purple.
Light or dark?
Dark. Senior does then, Christy? Yep. Senior 4 class does. I like the color. It had chocolate. If it had a decent coat today, you'd have a beautiful coat. The color's nice. The rabbit probably gets a little high here. Probably should stay a little tighter and more compact. This saddle, that ain't the right name here, but this line here, that needs to be crisp, like that blue down there. Okay. So then when you flip this rabbit up too, you see how the color extends into this leg? Yeah. That's a disqualification in this breed, okay? Okay. And your cheeks, however, look good. And I know you're probably trying to find a way to nab me because they don't get too pointed and they come down. They probably could get a little lower and more rounded on there. This is a very tough breed. Yeah. They all joke that they raise 800 to get one. And I believe them. Thank you. Good job getting that rabbit posed, buddy. Okay, rabbit could be maybe he's got a nice head on him. Full head. Ears are all right. Good gorgeous even blue coat. She has excellent marking. No color drifting down in her toes. Maybe start to molt a little bit of a white into her. Your cheeks would be probably a bit deeper. This one gets a little pointed. But yeah, for a Dutch, it's a pretty darn good color set. Go with that. Just the doe that lays the butt. She's got nice heavy bones. Probably getting a little floppy style. She's got very good bones. All right, there we go. So in the spirit of judging senior does in July, we have a lot of issues going on. Young man's chocolate here. This is a gorgeous chocolate color. She's just in the middle of the molt, and that detracts from it. But also her line here needs to be much smoother and even, and if you roll that rabbit up, she carries the color into what would be her right front leg, and that's a disqualification. That color is not supposed to get into the armpit or above at all. And then she drifts the color down into her toes also on her stops, and that's a problem. However, the rabbit, like I said, does have a gorgeous color underneath here, so we'll leave the young man in the blue category. The young man's black here is now starting to show quite nice. This is a pretty good rabbit. Ears are maybe not as short as I would prefer. They're maybe a little more pointed too than a guy would like to see. It does have a nice head on it. You know what? I bet you this little girl's in heat, and that's why you're having so much trouble with her, bud. That's exactly what's going on. She's got the nice full head. She's got a super slick, fast coat. That's a really nice coat on the rabbit. He's going to be second in class with her. The young lady's blue here is a really, really pretty colored, really nice rabbit that's marked. It's just a 5-year-old doe that's now showing its age. As you handle over the back here, it loses some flesh condition and some freshness, but still a nice rabbit, so she stays in the blue. Young lady on the end has these three. While I really, really like this doe, and in a lot of ways this could be my favorite, she seems a little, she's overfleshed for me. She gets a little too rounded on the sides here. She gets a little too loose-heighted when I handle her, and that detracts from her. Also, that ear that she wants to pop up is a huge problem in that breed. This black doe, while she sets up beautiful and she has a decent head, I would like that head to be a little bigger. She is a little too fine bone for this breed. When you handle her, she needs to have more massive bone. So the winner in the class ends up being this goofy colored one on the end. And she's a pretty nice doe. She's got decent bone. She doesn't have as much as the broken. However, she makes up for it in her coat quality. She's got decent crowns, good head on her, then that's why she wins the class. So first purple here, everybody else is blues, and the young man is the second purple.
Okay, so as we were looking at those rabbits when he was talking about the first two rabbits, those are actually Dutch rabbits. And in the lovely rabbit world, we have this lovely little Bible, I call it. It's the standard of perfection, and this is what Zach is judging on. So this has his rules as far as what the rabbit needs to look like, where the point qualities and everything are. The second little dark one that Caleb Swenson had, that was a Netherland Dwarf. And when he's talking about the Netherland Dwarf, they need to sit up pretty. They need to have a very short, petite ear. The ears can't be scissored or crossed, but they need to come up straight and sit up just like basically a little rabbit. You want them to see with their ears up. So that was a Netherland Dwarf. And then the Holland Lops are at the end. Again, they're another breed that sits up pretty, and as Zach was defining, needing more mass to the bone, needing a bulldog head. So anytime that you're looking at some of these rabbits, you're wanting a very bold head, not as petite in them, and it looks like we got a Netherland Dwarfs up here and a Holland Lop, and this would be coming into our junior buck class. So your first place purple was Kelsey Peck, second place purple was Caden Swenson, and the rest of the blues, Kelsey Peck, Brianna Swenson, and Caleb Frostestad. We're now again ready for our junior buck class. And it looks like we've got our junior doe class up here too. So one exhibitor in our junior buck class and two exhibitors in our junior doe class. And then we're going to get ready. If we look at our schedule, we've got our Clover Kids Rabbit Show, and that is going to start about 10:45. And let's see how we're doing on time. And we'll be about at that time as well. Again, we'd like to thank our judge today, which is Mr. Zach Westoff from Lamar's, Iowa, for coming and being a part of our show today. I was reminded, our rabbit committee, we have Sherry Tunglin over here. She is our rabbit chair. We have Amy Tanner, and she is our go-to gal. She's very good at herding these kiddos around. I'm Christy Peck, and then we have Kay Swenson. She is our representative from the Fair Board. We're glad to have her a part of our group. And then Scott Hummel is running around someplace around here. I'm sure he'll be here closer to the poultry show since that's kind of his go-to area. But thank you guys for being there for us.
All right, so junior buck, two junior does, Holland Lop on the end, and then two black Netherland Dwarfs. You see how this one's setting up right now? Setting up real nice for a Netherland Dwarf. You could see how big those ears are, though, and that detracts from them. But bright and alert, nice little short arch back, decent head on him. Maybe could be a little more rounded. Good puffy cheeks on him, which is important. Good eye color. So she's the first place purple in this class. She still earns that. In this class, this will be the second place purple. This rabbit just doesn't get a little long here between the shoulder and the high point. We'd want to narrow that up a little bit. Rabbit probably has a little shorter ears than the other one, actually. They may be getting a little pointed also. They're, plenty pointed. The Holland Lop here, she'll be the first in class. She was setting up okay, but she's getting tired. If you watched, I had to blow into that fur. You have to look for the ring colors in agouti is what we call these. This will be a chestnut agouti. And there's supposed to be 5 rings. You have a base, and then you have either gray in this one, and then like brown, black, brown again, with ticking on some of them. I believe that's the colors. I always kind of forget them. But I raise chinchillas, and they have a smoke, what we call a pearl ring color. And if you don't have the ring color, you're out. There's no reason to have the rabbit. So whenever you're doing these agouti types, it's always really important to check that at home. So first place in here, and then do we call up all the first place for overall? Okay. All right, for overall, you're having some give and take between the top 2 here. You have the one has a little bit of staining on them that I don't really like, maybe a little matted in the back, but really has a much better style, little shorter made rabbit overall. So the champion's going to be the junior buck, and then reserve will be the senior doe.
So your championship rabbit today for the junior buck. Excuse me, senior buck. Senior buck was the champion, and that was Kelsey Peck. And reserve champion is going to Kelsey Peck as well with the senior doe. Okay, and we got some banners for them kiddos. Now we are going to get ready, kind of do a switch out with these kiddos and get ready for our rabbit Clover Kid. And we'll get them up there to take a look at that. Again, we need to thank our judge today, Mr. Zach Westhoff, for being a part of our show today. And just different things. How many teeth does a rabbit have? How many teeth does a rabbit have? Any ideas? A rabbit actually has 24 to 26 teeth. All of it is basically up into the jowl area. So that's a lot of rabbits. What is the normal lifespan of a domesticated rabbit? Now, these aren't your wild rabbits because they, you know, nature has a tendency to take care of them. 1 to 2 years, 3 to 4 years, 5 to 10 years, or 12 to 15 years. It's actually 5 to 10 years. And a rabbit is a flight and fright animal, so their easiest way for them to defend themselves is to run away. Okay, so we are going to get our Clover Kids up here with their rabbit. And we are looking for Amelia Myrie, excuse me, Myrie. And with our Clover Kids, we do have one of our 4-H or FFA exhibitors behind them, just to kind of be there of assistance with them.
All right, young gal has a very large, looks like Holland Lop doe here, and just a big old broody type doe. She's a nice rabbit. She's got a really good fur coat on her today. Crowns may be getting a little weak with age and such, but that's a really nice rabbit. Pretty calm rabbit for this little gal to show, and just an easier deal to work with than some of our larger breeds. So good job, kiddo.
And again, she gets her Clover Kid ribbon. That's Amelia Myrie. So we're now going to do just a little bit of a change up here. We've got about 15 minutes until we start our poultry show. And again, poultry show starts at 11 a.m. The programs for these can be found back on that ledge there by the wood. So help yourself to that. Kiddos, again, are going to kind of change up. We're going to get ready for looking at those. And we're going to have Zach go ahead and he can start judging our egg class, because our egg class, the kiddos don't have to be up here. It's kind of, everybody's got the same type of carton, so everything is just right there. Everything is just very neutral. So it's easier for the judge, and there's no favoritism because somebody's got the foam container versus somebody's got the other container. These are all labeled 4-H for Dickinson County, so there's nothing on there other than a number. And Zach has no idea who they are, so we'll let him get started judging those. While our kiddos come in. Just a reminder, if you are needing a show program, they are over on the ledge there by that wood window. So help yourself to the program. For the next coming event, which is our poultry show. I'd like to thank our sponsors, which are Baumgart's, Dickinson County Ag Society, Iowa Lakes Chamber, and Christy Peck Family, as well as the Dickinson County Fairgrounds and the Iowa Great Lakes Chamber. So don't hesitate. Stick your hand out and tell them to thank them for being a part of the Dickinson County Fair, because without them, it would be very hard to have shows and have our nice awards, because the kiddos are getting banners as well as their ribbons, and they get their premium from the Dickinson County Egg people, the society, thank you, Fair Board and everything. So we're thankful to have them receive that. These kiddos are able to go on to the Clay County Fair and exhibit down there. Entries for the Clay County Fair, I believe, is August 1st. So if they are interested in doing that, they need to go to their 4-H online and get signed up for that as well. We don't hinder that. We think it's great that the kiddos are broadening their horizons. I know the goat people, they're out there showing Iowa State Fair, etc. I know those entries have now closed, but we do have some kiddos that are going to the Iowa State Fair and exhibiting there as well. So we're glad to have them do their thing and broaden their horizons as they age through their 4-H activities. Again, our judge today is Mr. Zach Westhoff from down in the Lamars, Iowa area. He is one of the vets down there, so we're glad that he took time out of his busy schedule to be a part of our show as well. I know he has gone through and he has judged the eggs, and once the kiddos get over here, we'll get started with him going through what he found out with the eggs. I show that it's 11:01, so we're going to have Zach gets going and explain how he came about the placings with the eggs.
We didn't see this part down here.
Okay.
Here's your first place here.
Right. All right. First place overall to the whites.
Okay. Top egg overall, so that would be Landon with his white.
Number 45. Okay.
With his white ones, yep.
And then second would be the browns.
Perfect, which
Okay,
is
that
Javen.
was, yep, number 27, yep.
And then third place will go to the quail eggs.
Oh, awesome. Eli.
Number 47.
Perfect, thank you.
No problem. Alrighty, in the egg division class, what you need are, in your case, 6 eggs, super even, that fill the carton. When you open the carton, you really don't want any rattle. You want those eggs to fill the holes. The other thing a lot of you kids got to pay attention to better is it's always point side down because you have your air cell on the blunt side, which is to the top. So if you have that to the bottom, you have all the weight of the egg constantly pushing on that, and you'll snap your egg cell or your air cells. And technically, if you were like selling eggs commercially, broken air cells get thrown out. Yeah. So yeah, it's always point down. For overall, first place egg went to the white set of whites in here that are very, very nice, well done, well filled out. Second place overall was to these browns here, number 27. Really good job. And then third overall actually went to the quail eggs because, while we don't really think a whole lot on quail in our daily diet, there's actually a lot of ethnic markets that strive and crave quail eggs, and you can do quite well peddling quail eggs because they start laying around 6-8 weeks of age. So they grow obviously very fast, and those little bodies crank out big eggs. And I enjoy them. I like eating them. They're really yolky for their size, but you have 4 or 5 quail, you'll get 3 to 4 eggs a day out of them, and it takes about that many to make something. So, no, they're very even. Pretty even colored, very even size, especially, is what I especially liked about those quail eggs.
Okay, so if you have your programs, we'll give you the results. First place purple for our white egg layers went to Landon Twayton. Second place purple went to Brianna Swenson. Blues went to Javen Baumgarn and Justin Baumgarn. So thank you very much to our white egg layers. In our half dozen brown egg layers, there was 1 scratch, and that was the very last exhibitor, the Dylan Whitrock. That was a no-show. So your first place purple went to Javen Baumgarn, exhibitor number 27, and that was a purple. Your second place light purple went to Eli Umscheid, which was your quail eggs, and that was a light purple. Third place exhibitor was number 45, Landon Twayton, and he got a blue. Fourth place went to Justin Baumgarn with a blue, exhibitor 28. Fifth place went to exhibitor number 16, Brianna Swenson, with a blue. The rest of the class was blue, so that would be Miles Crewman, Mallory Lortz, and Caden Swenson. Thank you very much, exhibitors. So our pastel class, we had 1 exhibitor in that class, and that was a first place blue, went to Caden Swenson, exhibitor number 17. Your top overall egg person went to the white class, which is exhibitor number 45, which was Landon Twayton. Second place was your brown egg layer, which is exhibitor number 27, Javen Baumgarn. And third place overall went to exhibitor number 47, Eli and that was with the quail eggs. So thank you very much, exhibitors. I think these kiddos need a round of applause. It takes a lot to find all of these different types of eggs, and it looks like all these eggs have been in the fridge, so hopefully they make it back in time to make it back to the fridge to be consumed. But that is entirely their responsibility. Okay, next up is going to be our broiler class. So we will...
We're working on that. Getting
Okay,
over here. They
we're
need
working
the
on...
broilers and get them in the pens.
Gotcha. So we're working on getting the broilers over here. And we have the broiler pen class, the Baumgars donated the birds. So each one of the kiddos received 10 birds, of which they could bring 2 classes of 3 back to the fair. If they made the weights and all of that, and if they lived. I mean, there is always the mortality that you do get from having new birds and everything. So that's the reason why the kids get 10 birds. And again, they can bring back 2 pens of 3. So you're going to see a variation. All of these birds were gotten the same day from the same place. And so this is the exciting part about it. You can see difference of kiddos and what they exhibit with. You see the kiddos, they've also got kind of a worksheet from what they have of what they've fed their animals and what has gone increase overall cost, what expenses they may have had, bedding, etc. So this is kind of an exciting way to see your chicken dinner basically, and for the kids to know how much it takes to get that chicken dinner on the table. Now the broiler class, the kiddos, there will be processing of the birds, so they'll have an idea as far as what the birds mass out to.
Alrighty, in your broiler class, you're really looking to have 3 birds, same sex, same weight, same body style, same way they fill your hand. The young man on the end had commented that he had weighed all his. We used to raise a lot of broilers when I was younger, a couple drafts of them really, and then we showed at State Fair quite often and placed very well at State Fair. I never weighed birds when I actually put my pens together because the human hand is like good 2 to 4 ounces depending on how well trained it is. So if you can't tell it when you're putting your pen together, the judge won't usually be able to tell it either. So when I put my pens together, I always make sure they all feel the same when I put my hand under them, lift them up off the ground. They need to fill your hand the same across and lengthwise, and then you grab the weight while you're doing that. Young man had commented that he had tried all corn and didn't really like it, so he switched it up. So that was a neat experiment for him to go through. If you're doing just corn, you can end up with a calcium phosphorus imbalance, and you can end up with some weaker legs over time. Also, your lysine gets out of whack, and a couple other trace deals. This young man's birds here are pretty good. He's got nice thickness to him. He's got a real nice pen of cockerels here. The pullets are nice too. The cockerels, just when they're younger, are more full always. Young gal here has a really nice pen that I liked at first an awful lot. She's just got a 2-in-1 thing going on. The cockerel in there is incredibly nice. The winner of it will be this lady here. Young gal will be first purple, and then the young man's cockerel pen will be second purple, and everybody else will be blues in here.
So your first place purple went to Madeline Lortz, or was it Mallory? Mallory. Gotcha. That's what it's easier to ask now. It's easier to ask. So first place purple, again, went to Mallory Lortz. Second place light purple went to Miles Crumman. And the rest of the blues were Caleb Frostestad had 2. He was our young man who tried feeding all corn, and he learned a lot with this project as well. Miles Crewman was a blue, and Madeline Lortz was a blue as well. So now we're going to get ready for our pen of 3 egg layers. Landon has 2 pens in there, so we'll do a change up here. And then please have our class number 109, the feather-legged bantam breeds, ready to go. I have 3 exhibitors in that class. So the scratches, we had, in 103, we had Eli, exhibitor number 47, scratch. Your class number 106 was a scratch, and 108 had 2 scratches, just so you know. And again, we like to thank our committee members, Sherry Tungland, who's our chairperson, Amy Tanner, who is our ramrod for our ring and also part of that. Tyler Tungland is a youth representative. Caleb Frostestad is our youth representative also for the Birds and Bunny Committee. Kay Swenson is our fair representative for our Birds and Bunny Committee. And I'm Christy Peck, and we've got Scott Hummel running around here someplace. And he is also part of our Birds and Bunnies. So we're excited about that. All Pets Animal Clinic, we want to do a shout out to them as well. They were doing our vet checks for our individuals, as well as Jack Johnson and Spencer Ag was running around doing some of our other vet checks and other species, so we're glad to have them assist us, and that is a big, huge responsibility for these kiddos. I know the cattle had to have their vet checks prior to entering, so the kiddos had to go find their vets and get that due to some viruses and diseases that are out there. It was just easier for everybody to make sure that those critters were checked out prior to. Also, you'll see on our back wall, we've got some also shout outs to different individuals that have sponsored in other areas. Also, we want to do the live video stream. Another thank you to KUOO. KUQQ, I believe, is in there too. And Explore Okoboji, it just kind of rounds out everything. So we want to do a shout out to them as well. And we can't forget our beautiful fair queen, Claire Scholerman.
All right, in the pen of 3 egg layer division, the blacks, young man commented they were Australorps. Kind of thought they were too until I looked at the bottom of the feed, and they're very yellow-footed. They're not pink-footed. So there's some type of cross of something. Not 100% sure what, but they're very nice. So they're a first purple, because in this division, you don't have to be a purebred. You can be anything, honestly. And then second purple will be this pen here, Rhode Island Red. It's just a female in there that doesn't match up quite as well, but he has very nice leg color on those. All these birds are, I don't know if they're washed or not, but they feel washed, and they're very well presented. The young man did a nice job. Good job.
That was Landon Twayton. From the Melford Pioneers, and he was first purple and second light purple. So now we're going to go with class number 109. This is our feather-legged Bantam breeds. Looking for 3 exhibitors in that class. Looks like he's up there and going to get them put in. Please have class number... Whoop, we've got a few more than the in class number 109. I'm sorry. We should have 8 exhibitors in that class. Oh, those are D. That's a D. Those are the pullets. So these are our cockerels. 3 exhibitors in our cockerel class. Please have 109D individual pullets, and we're looking for 5 exhibitors in that class.
Alrighty, in the Featherlite Cockrells, you have 3 porcelain Diuckles. This is a really pretty breed. They're fairly rare. There's 1 or 2 families out east that show them and do quite well when they do show them. It's just very hard to find really, really good ones anymore. So on a Diuckle, you're looking more for a U. You want a little bit of a come down off the head, flatten in the back, U up into that tail. So the one that wins the class here does that the closest. On feather-legged breeds, you need to flip the legs and make sure you have toes on all, toenails on every toe. All 3 of these really lack that on that outer toe. This one does the best job of almost having it, I might say. The bird here in the middle just has a comb that wants to flop. His tail's out. He doesn't want to stand right, so he detracts there. This bird here gets second place. This bird gets a little too yellow for me. I would like to see a little bit more of a pale opal in there. You also notice this breed, their wing feathers almost line up with some leg feathers there. As they angle down, those leg feathers are called vulture hawks. And this breed's allowed to have vulture hawks. Well, they're supposed to have vulture hawks. If you get those in silkies or cochins, you are disqualified. So that's an important distinction in this feather-legged breed compared to other feather-legged breeds. Good job, buddy.
Yep, Caden, keep track of which one has to come back up, okay? Okay.
Do they get blues for the?
Okay, we have a purple, light purple, and blue, and all of those are going to go to Mr. Caden Swenson, exhibitor number 17. We will see his one come back up for his overall. And as you can see, they have an attitude all their own. And they like to talk. I know some of the exhibitors in the swine and sheep barn and goat barn, since we're back over in that barn this year, they hear us in the morning and they're not too happy about it, but guess what? We're all farmers around here and it's all good. And it all gives us the experience of having these animals. What's the leg number on that? And we'll grab that so we know which one it is. 54? Perfect. Thank you so much. And that just helps us out so that we know which exhibitor or which bird is coming back. All of these critters had to come up and get a Polarim test. Polarim is a disease out there that needs to be watched and monitored. They draw a little bit of blood, put it on a slide, and put the serum on it, or the antigen, and if it turns to cottage cheese, it means they have the Polarim. So I'm sure Mr. Zach can give us a little bit more information on that as well.
All right, in our pullet class, we end up with 4 silkies or 5 silkies, and this is a very tough breed in a lot of ways. There's probably 2 males up here, but that's not uncommon in this breed, okay? Even the guys that, like, all they raise are silkies, all they show is silkies, they clean house when they show silkies, and they whoop everybody's butt when they're out there, and everybody cries when they see them driving to the parking lot. They will even mess these up because without the normal feathers, it's hard to really get the sex feather thing down. So when they're young like this, a lot of guys, I mean, they're not shown usually. They got to be about 10 months before they're really good and you want to show them. So nobody bothers. But I'm pretty sure these 2 are males, but they're still blues. In this breed, the closest example is this black on the end, which I'm pretty sure that's a hen, but there's a chance that could be a cockerel also. But she's built like a hen, where you're a little more rounded and tufted everywhere. She's got a nice little palm on her that could be bigger. Her muff is pretty decent. She rolls into her tail all right. If you notice how this one here just gets a little snakely over the neck, doesn't fill out as nice, doesn't have the roundness overall to her body style, that detracts from a silky. So that one will be second. Young man's one here will be first, and then second, everybody else is blues, okay? Yeah.
So the young man had a light purple?
Yes.
Thank you. So Brianna Swenson had first purple. Second purple went to, the light purple went to Landon Twinton. And then the rest were blues, and that was Brianna and Landon. Thank you very much, exhibitors. We're now ready for our top Bantam poultry and reserve poultry.
All right. Yeah, for the two Bantams here, there's some give and take and everything. But I think the best is going to be we're going to go with the pullet on the end here. She'll be number one. Young man on the end will be number two, okay?
And that was Brianna Swenson with her pullet, silky pullet, and then Caden Swenson with his, and I'm going to totally slaughter this, porcelain Deluce. Thank you very much, exhibitors. We're now ready for our American breeds, which is class number 111B, individual hens. I am looking for 3 exhibitors in that class. 3 exhibitors in class 111B, individual hens. Again, we'd like to thank our judge today, Zach Westhoff from the Lamar's area, for coming and being part of our show today.
We only have 2 in this one. Madeline says she does not have an individual hen.
All right, in our hen division, we have a couple things that happened. This is a golden lace Wyandotte, but she's got a single comb. She's supposed to have a rose comb. It's also not really supposed to have this style of a pointed tail. She's supposed to curve down over the neck, come across her body, swoop up, and then kind of have a nice pointed upward tail and almost fanned out across her whole butt. But that'll be first place purple in this class. The young man's production red here is a nice egg layer bird. She's just washed out in her leg color right now. She's a little crow-headed. I'd like to give her a bigger skull, and her wing coloring's not what it's supposed to be. But you can definitely tell that's an egg-laying machine there.
Yeah, she is.
Purples. Pullets next then.
Yes. Looking for class number 111D pullets. Have 2 exhibitors in that class. Your first place purple went to Javen Baumgarn, exhibitor number 27, and number 28, Jostin Baumgarn, was second place with a light purple. 2 exhibitors in our next class, 2 exhibitors in our American class, individual pullet. Please bring up class number 113, English breeds, individual hens, looking for 1 exhibitor in that class.
All right, in the pullet division, young lady's Australorp wins the class. Young man's production red gets second. The Australorp has the nice dark black color throughout. She's got the pink legs when you flip them under. She has decent size. She probably should be 3 to 4 pounds heavier in this division than what she is. The young man's production red that was here, you're not dark enough colored on those production red. You're looking for a real dark mahogany red color in them that's really striking, and those production reds lack that, so that's what holds that bird back. Asiatics are 3 Asiatics, okay. All right, in our Asiatic class, first place purple is here, second place purple is there. The first place bird has more distinct lacing when you get over the back. The second place bird, it gets real copperish to tannish. You're supposed to have 5 distinct lines on those, each of those feathers. The barred rock doesn't actually go with this class. Young gal still gets a blue. It's a nice bird. It just needs more distinct coloring as you handle all the feathering, okay?
Oh, this is the one that lost his tag.
No tag, okay. The other one has one, right? Okay.
I love them. That's why they work well together. Now you have the English breed. Now we're looking for the English breed, 1 individual hen, 1 individual hen. Results from the last classes, the American breed individual pullet, that was first place purple Brianna Swenson, and second place light purple was Landon Twayton. The Asiatic, your first and second place purple and light purple was Brianna Swenson, and your blue went to Mallory Lords. Thank you very much, exhibitors. Again, this is our English breed individual hen. And then we will have our English breed individual pullet. In that class, we had 2 additions in there, so we will have a total of 5. And we can go ahead and bring them up to the table. And exhibitors, if you will leave your poultry up on the table so Zach can kind of reference what he's talking about, it helps the audience learn as well. So just leave them up there for just a brief time. We know it takes time to kind of change it up, but we do have the time to take a look at these birds.
The two pullets can make their way to the table. So the young man's hen here is a buff Orpington hen. She kind of has like a cool buff splash look going on. She's just really washed out from all the sunlight. But when you handle her, she's been well kept. She's a big, heavy bird, which she's supposed to be. She's pretty clean feathered. Head's nice on her. Leg color's good. So he's going to stay. He'll be first purple in this. You can leave her up here then, bud, since we have a couple classes, okay?
Again, we're looking for 6 exhibitors in our individual pullet class. 6 exhibitors in our individual pullet class. It's okay.
5. Mallory's a scratch, she said.
Oh,
Mallory's not in.
Mallory scratched it.
Mallory said she's not in this one, so. Do you know which one Miles is supposed to be bringing in? He doesn't have. If he was added in here, so we've got a confusion as to what bird. I think he, okay. Is it a lavender? So hopefully that's the one he's got now.
Yep, that's what
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so that was, yeah.
All right, just want to check.
Yep.
Sapphire.
Yep.
Alrighty, in our pullets, the young man's lavender Orpington's very nice in a lot of ways. I don't know that that color is actually recognized, but that's not a big deal today for me. She's just a little rough feathered, so that's why she stays in the blue category. Young man's bird here, once again, has the yellow tone, yellow bottoms of the feet, but he still stays blue. So then you have the young man with 3 pretty nice Australorp pullets. And then we run into a menagerie of trying to sort these because there's some things I don't like. I really don't like her head. I feel like it gets too narrow. She gets maybe a tick crow-headed. I like this bird the most in a lot of ways, but she doesn't want to hold her tail up at all, and that tail needs to sweep up. So that leaves this bird getting first purple, and this bird will be second purple. Champion English then?
Nope.
Or we have...
Continental, they all go in together until you get to your top state. So your first purple went to Caden Swenson. Your light purple went to Caden Swenson. Blue was Caden Swenson and Landon Twiton and Miles Crewman. Thank you very much, exhibitors. We're now going into our Continental breeds, individual hen. I am looking for 4 exhibitors in this class. 4 exhibitors in our individual Continental breeds. So again, we are going to have the Continental breeds, individual hens. We are looking for 4 exhibitors, and I giggle at how they have them named: Sharon, Karen, Fat Amy, and Golden Polish. So I'm giggling.
Alrighty, in the hen class here, we have 3 golden lace Polish, 2 bearded, 1 unbearded. No, all 3 bearded. They're nice. This one here has decent lacing, but when you get really good lacing, she gets too dark in her top hat and over her saddle. You're just missing too much of the golden color. This one here's got pretty good coloring. She's just faded out from the sun. The young man's bird right there, while it's really nice in a lot of ways, with age you will get more white feathers in that top hat. That is just part of the game of this breed. Given all those, though, I'm going to go with this bird here as second place, and then first place will go to the Copper Moran. She's decently hued. She's probably not as tall as I would like her to be. She's well feathered for a Moran on her feet, which is super important. She could just use a little more height. Good job, kiddos.
Thank you.
I don't know if it's Karen or Fat Amy. We're gonna find out.
Which spawner was it?
Is it Karen or Fat Amy?
Fat Amy is first. First purple goes to Fat Amy.
Javen and then
Sorry, we've got to giggle with these. Second light purple goes to Justin Baumgarten, which was Sharon. And then I believe the rest were blues. And that was Javen Baumgarten and Miles Crummen. We're looking for our silver Polish and a Polish, and I should have 3 exhibitors in that class. 3 exhibitors in that class.
All right, in the pullet class, we have 2 silver laced and 1 buff laced. The buff is just young, not colored fully correctly or laced as well as we want, but still a blue. So then you have the young man's 2 silver laced. They don't want to stand right now. They're a little timid. We're going to go with this one here as No, we're going to go with this one as first place. She's got better lacing. I'm really concerned about her tail carriage. That needs to be brought up, but she's got a better crest on her too. This one, there's things I like about her, she starts to get real teardroppy on the ends of her feathers instead of a nice lace. It's more of a teardrop at times.
All other standard breeds are next. Okay, so your first purple went to Caden Swenson. Second, light purple was Caden Swenson, and blue was Madeline Lortz. Thank you very much, exhibitors. Up next is all other standard. We have one exhibitor in that class. And we can probably bring up our individual hen and our individual cockerel as well. So we're looking for one individual hen, all other standard. Just one individual hen. Just one individual hen. So next up we have an individual cockerel coming up. And this is our individual cockerel.
The hen or the cockerel and pull it up.
And then he has 3 individual pullets coming up. Sorry, that's the class.
We're gonna go have lunch. I don't know. You don't have to. Your own.
All right, in the hen class, the young man has I'll call it an app spitz. I really can't say that name very well at all. I struggle with that, especially given my German roots. Nice bird, good dotting on it and everything, decent body style. Not a full crest on those, just a few feathers up top, and that's exactly what he has. So he's his first purple in his class, no problem. The young man's turkeys here, we have a few issues. This color here is not really recognized, but it's a nice bird, well taken care of, so he's going to stay in the blue category. And then this one here, it's a white one with a little bit of coloring on top. We're going to keep that. That one will be first purple, okay? And then, do I choose it? Is this everything for all other standard? The pullets? Okay, sounds good. So yours can stay, and the white one stays, and that one stays, okay? Oh, we will?
We're going to need all these pages, right?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay, I am looking for Javen Baumgarn with Bonnie. I am looking for Brianna Swenson with her Black Jersey Giant. I am looking for Brianna Swenson with her Dark Brahma. I am looking for Miles Crewman with his Buff Orpington. I'm looking for Caden Swenson with his Astrolop. I am looking for Javen Baumgarn with Fat Amy. Caden Swenson with his Silver Polish. Eli Umscheid with his Turkin. So anything that was a first purple would be up on the table. And again, we are going for these are our recognized breeds, and the breeds are noted by the American Standard of Perfection. They have a standard as well. So all the kiddos go by the Blue Book, their little Bible. This happens to be for the American Standard and not the Bantam. Bantams also have one as well.
All right, we have to choose a top standard and reserve standard. The buff needs to be more buff. The jersey, or not the jersey, the Australorp just needs a little more size. The lacing could be improved on the Dark Brahma. The jersey should be bigger. The app is decent but a little rough feathered. The white Turkin is nice, but we got a little too much color showing up. The Moran is pretty good, but she's a little bulky and not as tall as I would like for a Moran. Wrong comb, and then we have the nice little Silver Lace here who just doesn't have her tail filled out. So champion's going to go to the jersey and reserve to the Silver Lace, okay? Those two kind of weed themselves to the top with being the best examples of their breed. The jersey. Him with the silver laced.
No. I've already got there. And who was the Silver Lace?
Caden was the Silver Lace then.
Caden Swenson?
Yes.
And he was coming out of which class? Polish?
Silver Lace Polish or Wyandotte?
Oh, yeah. Continental.
Thank you.
Continental Poland.
Gotcha.
Okay, so now we've got the all other breeds. That will have 7.
Okay, we are now ready for all other breeds. Your Jersey Giant being shown by Brianna Swenson was your top standard poultry, and Caden with his silver laced Polish. And that was Caden Swenson, sorry. Again, a thank you to all of our sponsors for being a part of our show and helping encourage these kiddos to have some of our feathered friends. I know Scott Hummel is getting into quail and got one of our kiddos interested in the quail breeds as well. So that's exciting. Our large fowl other, I have 4 exhibitors in that class. 4 exhibitors in that class. And then we're going to get into our waterfowl. Waterfowl.
All right, in this deal, we got some unique birds, some rare birds. The cream leg bar will start out the class and win it. That's Hen's really nice, or Pullet's really nice. Young lady has her in fabulous condition. Really good feather quality, just a very nice, clean bird and enjoyable to handle. Reserve will go to the young man with the production style red on the end. Same thing with that. Really clean, really well presented bird. The next two just get a little rough in their feather, but they're more meat style, so that's understandable. The male doesn't have his tail finished by any means. The production red's beat up from being a production red. They're harder, stiffer feathered birds, and they just don't keep in condition as well. And then this young lady's cream leg bar just needs a little more time. It's a nice pullet. She's just a little young. Waterfowl next.
Yeah, waterfowl, one exhibitor in the class. Okay, so your first purple went to Brianna Swenson. Your second light purple went to Eli Umscheid. Eli also had two more blues. Mallory Lortz had a blue. Justin Baumgarn had a blue. And Brianna Swenson had a blue. Perfect. Appreciate it. Okay, again, thank you for the parents for letting these kiddos have these birds and everything. I know it's an exciting time around your farms as well.
Ain't those cute? All right, the young man essentially brought up a trio of silver apple yards. However, his male I would not call a true silver apple yard. Looks much more like a ruin to me. What happens in these hatcheries, you're hatching a lot of stuff and somebody flips into another box and it goes out the door as a silver apple yard. The cross between these two very much looks like the males. They have a little bit more of this white, but they're not as white as the females. The number one waterfowl will be this hen here. She has the good facial lines that taint. One goes through the eye, the other one grazes below the eye and follows the arch of the neck. I was concerned about the black pigment on the ridge of her bill, but she is allowed to have that actually. She's not in as full of mature feather as this gal here, but that's okay because the other gal just does not have the facial lines at all that I would like to see. She also is maybe a little more, she could be a tick too white overall. So easy first purple, second purple. Good job. What we got next?
Okay, so your top, was your Drake your reserve waterfowl, or
No,
was it the female?
the female
other females.
Both females were.
Both females, yep.
Perfect. That's what I need to know. Number 43.
What number
That red band
was first?
is first, and then the teal is the second.
Okay, so Caleb Frostestad showed us and exhibited us his duck, Drake, and hens. First purple was with the hen. Second purple was with the teal band for the hens. And the blue was for the Drake. Your top waterfowl goes to Caleb Frostestad with the red banded female Drake hen. And the teal Drake hen ended up being your reserve waterfowl. So congratulations to him. Okay, and next up we have Mr. Eli, and he is exhibiting us wildfowl.
So yeah, that's why I had him.
leave him up there.
I left the duck up there. Yep.
All right, you can stay up here, bud.
Up here.
We didn't take them out of the cage and put in here just because they're quail, they're flighty. It wouldn't take much to squeeze through this. He's got a really nice male in there, so that male will be first. And then the female's a little beat up from the breeding pen, so she's second. But they're pretty, I really enjoy quail. Their little coo is a really unique sound. I've got a bunch at my house just for that reason, so.
We are up to our grand champion poultries.
Okay,
Do you want just the champions or the champions and reserves?
we'll just do champions.
Just the champions, okay.
So now we are going to bring up all of our champions. So Eli, you need to go back up with your quail. We need our top bantam, our top waterfowl, our top wildfowl. I think a top bantam and top standard. So if we bring up our champions there. So we need our Jersey Giant. We need our Silky. Pardon me? Nope. Do you want them up?
No, that's fine.
So we should have how many?
So you should have 4 up there.
Alrighty, so a little give and take once again with everything here, but overall it's going to the duck. She's got the best size for her breed. She's got the best coloring for her breed. And one of the joys of showing waterfowl is, A, the judge doesn't handle them, so it's harder to find faults. But also they tend to stay in better feather, especially in the summer. You know, I'll hatch a lot of ducklings in May, and I'll just feed them hard, and you can have them in pretty good shape for these late July state fair, August state fair times. And she's a young bird that just really coming into herself right now, and that gives her an edge today. It really does. Reserve will go to the Jersey.
So Caleb Frostestad had our champion poultry / waterfowl, wildfowl, and our reserve champion went to Brianna Swenson. Congratulations, guys, and again, thank you for being a part of that. We're now going to get set up for our senior poultry showmanship, and we have 4 exhibitors in that class. 4 exhibitors in that class. And just a reminder that your champion, senior champion, and junior champion will go into the overall champion contest that's going to be held on Wednesday afternoon at 2 o'clock. Again, I want to thank our sponsors, Baumgars, Dickinson County Ag Society, Iowa Great Lakes Chamber, Christy Peck Family, the Dickinson County Fairgrounds, and the Iowa Great Lakes Chamber. We're excited to have all of those businesses assist us with this part. Just 3 individuals, sorry about that. See, I've got a duplicate name here. So 3 individuals for our senior poultry showmanship.
All right, but all three seniors did a nice job. They know their bird or the breed they're showing and everything. Young man with the duck will be first. Young man with the Moran will be second. And the young lady with the Barred Rock did quite well. These two just had a little more information on their animal.
Junior Poultry Showmanship. We are looking for 7 individuals. 7 individuals. All Clover Kid Poultry, please be making your way to the arena. All Clover Kid Poultry exhibitors, please be making your way to the arena. Your champion poultry showmanship went to Caleb Frostestad. Your reserve was Javen Baumgarn, and Mallory Lortz followed the group. Okay, and while Zach is going through the poultry showmanship and everything, just a reminder, the Clover Kids Poultry Show is going to follow up with after this show, if we got all of our kiddos there. Then from 4 to 8, we've got the food truck roundup, which is out in the expo parking lot. 5 to 8, we've got the family night activities and games, which is on the east side of the expo center. Then we've got the touch a truck as well, 5 to 8. On the east side of the fairgrounds. 5 o'clock, the open jackpot barrel class is in the outdoor horse arena. So go check that out as well. I think I heard they're starting to roll in 3 o'clock-ish, 3:30-ish. We should start seeing them. And they're going to be parking north and east of the arena up there. So that is kind of their designated parking space. The exhibit building is open from 10 to 7 today. So please don't hesitate. Go up there and assist in that area. Tomorrow morning, 7 a.m., Cowboy Church. So check it out at the outdoor arena. Horse show starts at 9 a.m., and our lovely queen will be involved in that particular part of the horse show. Exhibit building opens from 10 to 7 tomorrow, and then the antique tractor ride, so we'll have some tractor riders around here. Yes, I totally agree with you, Bird. The tractor riders will be taking off here and going from 2 to 5. Clover Kids Pet Show, it'll be back over here at 4:30. The pet show then will follow with the 4-H'ers and FFA'ers at 4:30. Fair Board, they're having their steak dinner and concert, so 5 to 7 over at the Expo Center. And your Queen Coronation will be at the Expo Center at 6 o'clock. So we're excited about having that. And then the 4-H Tug of War, which they need to be registered by 5 o'clock. their permit and everything. They need to have their parent signature on there as well that they can participate in that. Then Monday is our sheep show and goat show. Pork producers have the meal that evening over at the Expo Center. Pie auction and bucket of junk auction as well. Then we go to Tuesday, Beef Buddies, Clover Kid Beef Show, and the Beef Show. FFA is going to have lunch that day. Beef producers are going to have the dinner that evening. And the Farm Chore Olympics is going to be out in the outdoor arena. Wednesday is the Swine Show and the Pedal Tractor Pull, as well as the overall showmanship contest. And then the Fashion and Communication Showcase, Fair Awards, and then the release of the non-sale livestock and static exhibits. Just going to be a busy week. And we round out the week with our pancake breakfast, which is done by the county council, and our livestock sale. So then we have our kiddos come back and assist us in closing up the buildings and picking up all the garbage. We hope that everybody can do due diligence there and keep their areas picked up. And if they by chance have a bottle, make sure to hit it to the garbage and not to the ground. It's greatly appreciated, and I know the kids enjoy not having to pick up that garbage as well. So busy week here. Thanks to our Extension Council. Thank you to our Extension staff as well as our Fair Board for giving us these great grounds and opportunities to showcase the kiddos.
All right, in junior showmanship, all these kids for their age really did quite well, demonstrated quite a bit of knowledge. Every one of them really demonstrated quite a bit of knowledge about their project, the breed, classing, comb, style, all that stuff. First place will be the young lady here with the cream leg bar, and then second place is going to go to that young man. He was really sharp on a few questions. I answered him, and then honorable mention to the young man on the end with the production red. He did really well also. Yep.
Brianna was first. And which of the boys?
Last call for Clover Kids hoping to exhibit poultry to make your way to the indoor arena.
Okay, so your junior poultry showman went to Brianna Swenson. Your light purple or reserve goes to Landon Toyton. And your honorable mention was Justin Baumgarn. Thank you very much, exhibitors. Good job. Knowledge is there. We're now going to get ready for our Clover Kids. If you want to stick around, we'd love to have you see what our Clover Kids, this would be our next generation coming down the pike for our poultry and their eggs. Your eggs may be taken for your exhibit. Okay, so we're getting up here with our Clover Kids, and we've got our 4-H'er behind them. We should have 2 Clover Kids, and we got some eggs coming up. Thank you. The eggs from the 4-H'ers can be taken. The eggs from the 4-H'ers can be taken. For the Clover Kids, yes.
These are.
You're on. You want to get.
All right. Both these young gals have done a nice job. They know their birds. They take care of them. We discuss daily care, and they have names for them. So excellent job, and you guys have fun with your birds back at home, okay?
Okay, so your ribbon kiddos were Amelia Myrie and Billie Jean Branham. Thank you very much, exhibitors. We hope you are enjoying your birds. And then we have a set of eggs over here that need to be checked out.
We do use the egg peel.
Claire Schollerman, please return. Perfect. And then anybody that got a banner, we're going to need you to come back for photo op. So we need to get those photo ops handled. We want to thank Zach Westhoff for being our judge today. He's going to motate back down to Lamar's and kind of cool off. We had Miss Amelia Myrie, and she had our eggs, and she was our ribbon winner today. So we're glad to have those Clover Kids out there. Hope they're having fun and enjoying their egg breakfast, etc. Again, thank you all the parents for being part of this and being there today.